Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. I'm Shannon. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, I just said welcome back, but welcome back again. How's everyone doing today? We're here with a tarot reading. I think this is going to be a general reading. We want to see what we have going on here because there has been, for me personally, and it seems like the people around me, there has been quite a shift in the energy. For a while, if you go back to my last post, it was kind of like we were stuck in this liminal space, like in between. It was like we were moving, right? But we were kind of stuck in between two spaces. And now I feel like we've surpassed that. We've moved past that liminal space, and now we're starting to recognize ourselves in this new type of energy that I've been really picking up on later. And it's a beautiful energy, oftentimes a painful energy, but it's an energy of healing, and it's an energy of acceptance, and it's an energy of just kind of learning to surrender to whatever it is that's happening in your life and no longer choosing to swim upstream, okay? Even if you didn't know, maybe you didn't know you were choosing to do that. Maybe you didn't understand that it was even an option to just lay back and float and see where the current takes you. Okay, and I feel like a lot of people are beginning to wake up to that, and that's amazing. That's beautiful, right? But it can be scary. Anytime we're going through any type of major shift, it can feel intimidating. It can feel scary because we're moving from one version of ourselves into a new version. And sometimes those ego deaths, dark nights of the soul, whatever you want to call them, you can come out the other side of one of those a very, very, very changed person, okay? And I feel like oftentimes when that occurs, and this feels like a big energy, like this is affecting people on a larger scale, a grander scale. This isn't like we're, you know, changing our opinions and just becoming a little bit more happy with ourselves. This is like a full-on psychological kind of, that's not the word I want to use. It's a shift. It's a big shift. And it's been coming for quite some time. So the fact that I'm feeling like we've gone through the worst of it, right? We've gone through that space of kind of feeling like, where the hell do I go now? I feel like I need to do something. And Spirit was saying, nope, you're doing everything. You're cool. Just hang in there. Now we're finally getting into that place of, okay, let's take some action, right? Let's see where we're at. So for the collective, if my camera is shaking, I do apologize. I will be back to the normal setup soon. My back is like 99% better, but sitting in a chair upright is still pretty intense. All right. So we're starting off with the moon and the 7 of Cups. So the moon speaks to your subconscious, okay? This can speak to things that we don't see or maybe haven't been able to acknowledge within ourselves yet. And the 7 of Cups speaks to emotional choices, feeling overwhelmed with the decisions that we have to make, okay? So we see this person here trying to make this decision. You know, what am I going to do next? What is my next step? And what Spirit's saying here is you need to go inward. You're not going to find these answers like everything else. You're not going to find these answers or this validation external to yourself. Now, that is not to say don't speak to your friends, don't speak to your therapist. If you have people in your life who are genuinely helping you, but again, that's where this comes in. We need to be able to tap into that subconscious part of our brain. And sometimes this can come through dreams. It will often come through meditation. Sometimes if we are completely shut down and, you know, in this state of like, what the hell am I going to do next? Sometimes we'll just have an epiphany like out of nowhere. And it's like, oh, what was that? You know, and we'll second guess it and think about it. And this is kind of like saying, you need to go inward and you need to figure out whatever it is for you that maybe subconsciously needs to come to the surface and be revealed to yourself to help you make these decisions, to help you get through this emotional time. We've got the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So this to me is saying that maybe as you've been going through this transition, either you've been working on the way that you're communicating and you're communicating more in a more direct way, but also in a more compassionate way. But this could also say to me that maybe you have a little bit of resistance to this, which is normal, okay? Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles coming out with the Magician here. So to me, and you know, it's funny, I almost said in like the intro part that it's a good time for manifesting, right? And it seems like that's exactly what you're doing here. You're taking a seed that has been planted and you're working through this, okay, to get clear on what it is you want, because you're trying to bring this into the 3D, all right? The seed has been planted. You're working on alchemizing this. So we can have things in our subconscious for a long time that like maybe feels like, oh, I could never attain that, or, you know, it's kind of just in the back of our minds. This is Spirit saying you're getting too caught up in your head. You need to go inward because the seed's already been planted. You need to come at this with an air of compassion again. Like, this is going to be about being compassionate with yourself, okay? But also being firm in your decision making. So and then we have the Chariot underneath of this. You're working on integrating different aspects of yourself currently. And maybe you're second guessing the fact that you would be able to bring this into the physical realm. And Spirit saying you absolutely can. We all have the power of manifestation. And while some of us, like me in particular, I do find it easier to manifest from like a high vibrational state, it is very possible for us to manifest from a shadow aspect, okay? And it looks like some of that is definitely needed. Some shadow work is definitely needed, and it looks like you're putting in that work on yourself, or beginning to put that work in on yourself. And maybe that's what's causing this emotional confusion. If you're doing this shadow work. Let's get a little bit further, guys. Remember that King of Cups in the Chariot I just pulled out? Okay, so this is confirmation. This is what was on the bottom of the deck. This is what just came flying out. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Chariot, okay? You're working towards your contentment on this physical plane, right? But in order to get the physical contentment that we want, we need to learn to be at peace with maybe the aspects of ourselves, the aspects of our lives, that maybe we deem as less than desirable, right? Like, oh, I don't like my job, or maybe, you know, me and my partner haven't been getting along well, or whatever the case may be. And Spirit's saying that you're going to have to take some of those qualities that you're seeing as less than desirable and come to terms with those, okay? Because you're on the right track, but it's like you're second guessing yourself. And there's no reason for it. With the Chariot being here, you're already in the midst of this. You already have, so like you already have this becoming, you're making this manifest as we speak. But we need to put the work in on ourselves. We need to keep going with this. And we need to be kind to ourselves while we're going through it. We need to accept the fact that sometimes things in life are not going to be the way in which we wanted them to be. And we need to find the lesson in that. Why didn't it go the way we wanted it to go? Why did we want it to go that way in the first place? Right? Was it ego-driven? Learning what our egos sound like is probably one of the most beneficial things that you can focus on, just in general, regardless of this reading, right? Because once we're able to identify our ego, then we're able to kind of, not in a mean way, not in a harsh way, but let ourselves know that we're safe. Because really all your ego is your inner child, right? And they're confused, they're hurt. So it's important to take it one step at a time, be patient with yourself, but to also know that you have the power within yourself to make manifest whatever this is. Because I feel like you're getting hung up in the Seven of Cups energy, and Spirit's guiding you to take that confusion and kind of run with it almost. Like, you're not going to be able to sort through this. Whatever this is for you, this isn't going to be something that's going to be able to be sorted out like with a pen and a paper and a list, right? This is going to take some work on the inside. Really digging into your, you know, your undesirable aspects and learning to accept them for what they are, and then learning how to use those to help bring you to the next level. Because you are not stuck. That's a message right there for somebody. You're not stuck. Stuck in what? I don't know, but I'm hearing you're not stuck. So if you're feeling stuck right now, please know you aren't. None of us are, right? But we do have free will, and we do create our own energetic ripples as we move through this life. So we need to be careful. We need to be thoughtful in the way in which we're choosing to do things, right? In the way we're choosing to say things. And that goes for the way we speak to ourselves as well. Sometimes people will, you know, it's like, I don't get it. And you know, this is me to a T. Like, obviously I work on it a lot now, but some people will be people pleasers and they're like, I'm so good to everybody. I just don't understand why nothing is going my way. And it's like, it's because you're talking to yourself like you're a piece of shit and you don't deserve that. We got to take care of ourselves first. Let's see, what's our next step here, Spirit? What do we need to, what else do we need to know? Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Wands came out, but it's reversed. And we have the Two of Cups with the Three of Cups on the bottom of the deck. For some of you, you're afraid of taking these steps because you're worried about your own stability. You're like, you know, if I go in this direction, am I still going to have the stability that I have now? So for instance, right, I'm going to use myself again as an example. When I walked away from my 9-to-5 job, it was like, okay, now what, you know? And it's a very scary move. With this being Pentacles and the Four of Wands, which is, you know, speaks to stability and things like that, I almost feel like you're worried that if you follow your desires, you're going to leave behind all these pentacles and it's going to destroy whatever you've built so far as you know, this could be a home, it could be a job. And we don't want to lose our stability, right? That's a very scary thing. But again, I feel like this reading is about releasing. And again, Spirit saying you have the seed planted. You can manifest this. If you are unhappy in what you're doing, this is just kind of like a push. Like, you're going to get that person that you've been looking for. You're going to find that business partner. You're going to reconnect with a loved one. You know, there are good things on the horizon for you. But like the Three of Cups, this is celebration. This is, you know, this is joy and happiness and hitting, you know, the first level, you know, completing the first level almost. But you're not going to be able to get to this place unless you learn to ground yourself and trust yourself. And look at yourself with complete honesty. Let's clarify the Two of Cups, please. Five of Cups, Judgment, and the Two of Wands. Okay. So you have something in your life that you felt like was your match. And, you know, with the Two of Cups, we often relate this to love. But again, I don't have the Lover's card out here. This could be a family member. I'm kind of picking up the vibe that this could even be a very close friendship, all right? And I'm seeing that you, in the confusion, in you trying to, that's why that came out. We'll get to that in a second, okay. In you trying to understand your subconscious and move yourself to the next level, it's kind of like you've been letting things slip that you actually care about, all right? Your focus has not been on these things, so to speak. And that's okay. However, now Spirit's coming through and saying it's time to make a judgment call. Or judgment is being called, and you need to decide which direction you're going to move in. It's like you've been sitting here contemplating this, whatever this is subconsciously, emotionally for you, for long enough, right? Spirit's saying you've done the work, you've planted the seed, you have the power, but there is a fear that is holding you back. You're afraid of losing something in the physical, whether that be money, a job, a person, a group, whatever it is. You're worried that if you become truly authentically yourself, you're going to lose that. And okay, and that's exactly what's coming out here. Spirit saying you're not going to lose it if you do the work. You're going to lose it if you don't do the work and you stay in this place of uncertainty and kind of just feeling meh about like everything that's coming into your life emotionally, right? Like if you look at this card, she's just like dumping out everything she's worked for there. So with the Judgment card coming out and the Four of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, the Four of Pentacles speaks to holding on to things too tightly in the physical, okay? Not wanting to let go, not wanting to, I'm hearing let go and let God. If that resonates with any of you, take it. But, oh, okay, maybe this is about lovers. Or this could, for some of you, this is about. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles, we have the World, we have the Wheel, and we have the Lovers, okay? So this is like trying to hold on to something that is running a cycle. It's come to a completion. But you're still gripping it. The Hierophant. It's a lesson. There's a message here for you. You're supposed to be taking something from this. And it directly correlates to your emotional well-being and how you're going to choose to remanifest this. For some of you, this is what I see you trying to remanifest. Love, partnership, companionship, understanding, feeling seen, feeling validated. But you have the option to either make a decision and go in a direction. And this isn't to put pressure on you, because the universe is always working for our best benefit, right? Spirit does not want to see us fail. It's just not how it works. But the universe will push us along when necessary. So I'm seeing it's time. You're doing the work, but you're still second guessing yourself. Yeah. Don't feel like you need to hide yourself. Don't feel like you need to defend yourself, because you're beautiful as you are. You're perfect as you are. And anybody worth their weight in salt, is that a saying? Or am I just, whatever, that's what I'm hearing, is going to recognize that. So whether this is a love connection that you can't release and you're having trouble releasing, or a job that, you know, you're just sick of and you just don't know what to do, the guidance is that you have all the pieces to this puzzle. They're just a little jumbled. You need to go inward and you need to sit with this. You need to meditate on this, because right now is the time of, this is going to be the time to manifest this. And you have good things coming your way. It's just a lot of second guessing here. It's like, great, 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 but I'm gonna second guess it. So the main message here today is trust yourself. Trust yourself. Do not be afraid to go inward and deal with whatever your demons are, right? Not that we have demons, but we all have anger. We all have emotions. We all have faults, flaws. None of us are perfect people, and we will never be perfect people. It's less about masking that and more about learning to accept it and then integrating it into our personality in a way that is beneficial not only to ourselves, but to the people that we love. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, quick recap. You've got this. You've got this in the freaking bag. Stop second guessing yourself. There are beautiful things on the horizon. And unless you want to go round the wheel again with this, right? If you don't want to take the lesson, if you don't want to do the work, you don't want to go inward, you don't want to sit with it, which, hey, if you're not ready for that yet, that's completely okay. But know that Spirit's saying, this is completing. You're coming out on top here. You have the opportunity to manifest whatever the hell it is you want. Become clear on that. Become clear on that. Make a plan. I don't care if it's one small thing you do every day to bring you closer to what it is that you want, or that it's 3 minutes of sitting there meditating or attempting to meditate or teaching yourself to meditate every day. Even 1 minute, anything. Just take that first step. And I promise you, after you take that first step, you're going to say, oh shit, things are starting to fall into place. And I'm hearing be grateful always. I think that goes without saying, but be grateful even for the bad things. Sometimes the bad things are the things we have to be most grateful for because they teach us the most. I feel like we move forward through fire a lot faster than we do through, peace, love, and butterflies. But anyway, guys, we're at almost 30 minutes. This is where I'm going to leave the reading at. I hope that resonated. If it did, please drop me a like. It helps the channel out greatly and lets me know that these are resonating with people. I hope you're all having a beautiful weekend or weekday whenever this finds you. Yeah, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.